the same camp back when you were a little kid. You guys wouldn't have spoken back then, would you? You don't remember meeting her or anything back when you were a little kid?
No, I don't remember meeting Gab. There's a couple of those pictures of us together, and it's really weird because, like, now we're here and playing, and, you know, you never expect that when you're so young, but I think it's awesome.
What was that like for you as a kid coming to these Hawkeye camps? What are some of the things you remember learning when you would come down here and go to lessons or whatever?
I think it was just a lot of fun for me. I've always really enjoyed basketball. I've always enjoyed learning. And the atmosphere here is obviously really amazing, so it's part of why I chose to come here.
Hannah, what do you know about Coach Freeze? I mean, she's a Wash kid. Do you have much, you know, obviously there's a big age gap there, but, you know, what do you know about her?
Well, she knows my mom, of course, but my mom knows everybody because she likes to talk. But yeah, there's a lot of history with my basketball coach, Coach James. He's known her since he was little. Obviously, she was an amazing basketball player as well as her sister. So I think I broke some of their records also. But yeah, she's a great coach, and I'm excited to play against them again.
Kate, I think this is your fourth trip to Maryland. The first three haven't gone very well.
Yeah.
And just in general, it seems like you guys haven't even necessarily been playing bad basketball when you guys go out there, and it's been, you know, a tough time. Just, is there anything about that trip other than the fact that Maryland's had good teams over the years that it sticks out as?
Well, I would just say that since Maryland's joined the league, you know, they've been pretty dominant, and they've had some really good athletic teams, and so that's always, you know, posed a problem for us in previous years. And I mean, it's just a tough environment to go into, and any Big Ten road game is a tough environment at this point, or it's like a home game for us, but Maryland's pretty far away, so obviously it's going to be a really fun environment. I'm not sure if it's sold out or not, but it is. So, I mean, and there's probably going to be more Maryland fans than Iowa fans there. So, I mean, but we've gotten pretty used to playing in hostile environments now. And obviously, yeah, we've lost ever since I've been here and ever since Coach Bluder's coached here, we haven't won there. So, obviously, we're going in there, especially after what happened to us last year at their place. And, you know, we're just going to play Iowa basketball, give it our best shot. I mean, the odds hopefully could be in our favor here, but you never know.
What defensive problems do they present?
Yeah, they're just very aggressive. They switch everything, and that's not, you know, it's almost like, and they play like a matchup type of zone as well. So what's good for us is Northwestern does kind of a matchup zone as well. So playing two teams that play similar defense in that way will, you know, has helped us prepare all week for Maryland as well. And they're just very aggressive, athletic. They have a confidence about themselves where they just don't really care who you are. They're going to ball pressure you. They're going to try to, you know, amp you up and speed you up, and so we can't let that affect us.
Hannah, I think Coach Bluder said that you had maybe a little bit more spring in your step against Northwestern, ran the floor pretty well, rebounded well. What felt different about last game compared to maybe some of the few before that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think my mindset has been a little better recently. Yeah, that's all I gotta tell you.
You know, the rotation of bigs has sort of changed recently. It's really sort of changed and fluctuated all year. What's it been like to see Addie come off the bench more, like be a bigger part of the rotation, and what does it bring to the team? Like what sort of element does that bring, do you think?
I think it's been amazing. I think Addie's a really great basketball player, and she needs to be confident in herself. She's got a lot that she can give to this team, especially with her height. You know, I'm not very tall, but she brings that height, and she can get those blocks. She can play great defense. She can score on anybody, I believe. So I think it's great having her in there and stepping up.
Does it make your job easier as a defender to have her behind you?
Yes, I think absolutely.
Okay, there are a lot of games this year where you've kind of turned into the number 2 scoring option, depending on the matchups or what's happening on any given night. Is that what you envision for your season? I mean, I know that you had, you know, some sicknesses right before the season started, and we're kind of just getting back to full health when the year started, but you've really stepped up and have and averaging whatever 12, 16 points the last couple months. It seems like. Is that what you envision for yourself this year? That you'd be scoring this much, have this much offensive prowess?
I don't know. I guess I didn't really come into the season thinking like, oh, I need to average this many points or I want to average this many points. I honestly just kind of stepped into my role, and if that's more of a scoring role, then so be it. And that's kind of what I've, I don't know, just taken in stride. And I think I've just honestly been put in some really good positions, like running the floor, and I have a teammate like Caitlin who can find me running the floor, and I've gotten some easy buckets that way. But I don't know, I've just been able to step up, knock some shots down, and I'm just happy that I can do that. And it's not like I was going into the season thinking, oh, I'm going to score this many points. I just think it's kind of happened for me, and I'm glad it has.
Are you enjoying having those numbers there? I mean, I imagine it's the first time since high school that you've been scoring this much, having this much of an offensive presence.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, everybody likes to score, but it's not really like, I never look at my stats after games or anything like that. Only see them if I'm told what they are. So it's just something I don't really care about too much, but I'm very happy because it does feel good. Who doesn't want to score? So.
You talked about how good Maryland's been. This team's 4-6 in the Big Ten. Gave up 112 to Michigan, or was it Penn State the other day. Do you see some holes there that might not have been there the last 3 or 4 years?
Sure. I think every team is going through, like a transition with new players, losing some really great players. They obviously lost Diamond Miller, Abby Myers, and a couple other players. So they're a different team. They're going through adjustments. That doesn't mean they're not Maryland. They're not a really good team. And I think any Big Ten team right now is, really good, and you never know what you're going to get on any given night. And so we're on their home court with their fans, and everybody's going to give it their best shot when they're playing against us. So while they might not have, WNBA players and they still might, but with Cheyenne Sellers, she's a really good player, and they have really good 4 and 5 on the inside, but they're not maybe quote unquote what they used to be, but they're still going to give it their best shot, and they're going to come out and play their best basketball they have all season against us.
What are your keys defensively? They seem to have 3 or 4 kids that can shoot the 3.
Yeah.
So they can stretch the defense, but they also like to drive to the hole.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you guys focusing on?
Yeah, we really got to contain the drive, and boxing out, rebounding. That's been a key for us the last few games. I mean, we started out the season doing really well with our rebound margins, and we kind of let up the last 2 previous games, not Northwestern, but so that's going to be a key for us. I mean, they attack the glass really hard, and so they've got some good outside weapons, and they've got a strong inside presence. Their 4 players really good, transfer from NC State, I believe, and Cheyenne Sellers didn't play against Indiana, but she's very crafty, shifty point guard who can knock down the 3 and get to the rim. So I think we just have to play solid team defense and just contain the ball, keep them in front of us, have good help when we can, and that's really the key. You said it. They've got good outside shooters. They've got good inside, so that obviously is tough to guard, but we're just going to have to come out and give it our best shot.
I know you're a team that doesn't focus too much on losses, but last year's loss, the way it went down at Maryland, seemed to almost be kind of a catalyst or a springboard toward what you guys did in the postseason. Is that loss to Maryland last year something that you guys have remembered maybe a little bit more than other games?
I don't care. Do you want me to answer? Okay.
I think for sure we remember last year. Obviously, Kate's never won there, and Coach Bluder's never won there either. So I think that we want to win this game for the team and for Coach Bluder, of course.
Yeah, I think that game, obviously they did some different things to us defensively than we had seen before. And, I mean, that was, we kept calling it March Medicine last year because it really, taught us, what our weaknesses were, and we've been able to polish those up a lot since last year. It's been almost an entire year, so we're excited for it. It's going to be a fun environment, and we don't ever want to feel the way we did last year after that game, so we never want to feel that way again, so we're going in with a positive mindset here.
Kate, it seems like in the last few games, the team has been, I don't want to say it's starting slowly, but the games have been very competitive up to and including like to halftime. Is that just a reflection of you guys getting these teams' its best shots? Is it a slow, do you perceive it as a slow start for the team, or how do you look at that?
Yeah, I would say we're definitely getting every team's best shot. I mean, it could be it's a little bit of a slow start. I think we could, come out, on fire more, but sometimes we're getting great shots. We're just not knocking them down. But yeah, I think whenever you're the third ranked team in the country, you've been in the top of the Big Ten, like you have a target on your back, and every single team wants to beat you. So they're going to come out and they're going to, be way more amped up sometimes, and we have to figure out a way of how it doesn't matter if they're the bottom of the Big Ten or the top of the Big Ten. We need to be consistent in everything we do, and have intention in everything we do, and every single play matters. It doesn't matter if it's against Northwestern. It doesn't matter if it's against Indiana. Every single possession matters for us, and Coach Bluder's, trying to instill that mindset in us, and I think we do have it, but sometimes, whenever you have that target on your back, people are going to come out and, they have a lot to play for in those moments.
That theme has really kind of been, I feel like, emphasized even more this year, getting everybody's best shot, being operating from the top pretty much all the way through. Kind of compare and contrast a young player and a veteran. Just that's not always something that you guys have had to deal with to the level that it's been throughout this season. Just from your leadership and your kind of absorbing that, what has that been like to go through, emotionally, mentally, as you navigate this long season?
I think it makes it more fun. I mean, you wouldn't want somebody to just come out and be like, oh, it's Iowa, we're already going to lose. It's like, no, we want you to give your best shot. We want people at their best. I mean, that feels better. That means more. It helps us get better throughout the season and into March and for the tournament. So we wouldn't want it any other way. That's what makes basketball fun. That's why it's so exciting to watch our team and our games. But yeah, it hasn't always been that way maybe, but it's been really cool to be a part of that and to see where our team and Coach Bluder's, legacy that she's built has grown.
Yeah, and ever since I've been here, it's been like that. So I think it's like the same. We want to compete every single game. We want to get better. We want to have that pressure. Obviously, Coach Bluder says pressure is a privilege, and I think we live by that, and it makes us better as basketball players and as people. We're ready for life.
Yeah, sure.
Kate, I think we've all seen that the moments that Caitlin gets to be a 22-year-old college kid are few and far between now, and it seems like the Caitlin mania has really hit another gear in the last few weeks even. I know you don't think about it in this frame because you're just hanging out with your friends, but how valuable is the downtime that you guys get to where Caitlin is kind of removed from everything that she goes through, whether it's just on the plane or making TikToks or whatever, just like how valuable is that for her and your guys' team as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Caitlin's breaking a lot of records per usual, and Big Ten all-time leading scorer, so she deserves that recognition. She deserves the fame that she's getting. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I would like to be in her shoes completely with all the attention. It feels like everybody's watching you, and so when she can get downtime, we can get downtime. I mean, obviously that's really important, just playing video games or hanging out with your friends, just sitting there talking. That's obviously just really important that every single person in here needs and every single person in the world really wants. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not in Caitlin's head. I don't know exactly how she feels, but I'm sure that it is, crucial to her to, just maybe take a deep breath and just be able to relax and be normal and hang out with her friends.
Would you want to meet Jake from State Farm?
Honestly, yeah, I would. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know. We've gotten a lot of big-time people who have come to games, so it's been really cool that we've gotten to meet quite a few celebs, I guess. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Obviously, important game at Maryland. You know, it's a situation where we only play them once this year, and we've never won there. We've beat them at home, we've beat them in the Big Ten tournament, but we've never won there. And so I think that gives us a little added motivation. And again, like I said, just because it is a solo meeting as well. So important game. We don't know the status of Cheyenne Sellers. She missed the last game. Probably won't know until it's all right. No, it's okay. It's all right. Bree McDaniel's doing really well for them. She's really playing the point guard, the off guard. She is an extremely good basketball player. She's hard to guard because she's strong and fast. You know, they're not really tall, but they're really strong inside. I think transition defense is a key. They're very, very good at pushing the ball and getting high percentage scores. They're quicker than we are. They run more possessions per game than we do.
About Maryland's made it such a tough place for you to play after this team to win at. Just what was the last one, 92-93 season, I think was the last time Iowa won at Maryland. What is it that makes that place such a hard environment for you?
Well, I just think they're a good basketball team. I mean, it's hard to beat good basketball teams on their home court, and we're going to be facing another sold-out crowd. As I understand, this is the hottest ticket that they've had in 5 years, and so it's going to be an unbelievable crowd, but hopefully we'll have at least 22 fans, if not Hawk fans, there.
You mentioned Cheyenne Sellers is questioned with that. I believe it's a knee injury. If she is able to play, you know, what does she bring to them as a 6'2" guard?
Yeah, I mean, they can post you up because they're not big inside, but they're big at all their guard positions, and so they do a really good job of posting up their guards, and that's given us trouble against them in the past. But you look at a Gabby Marshall or Molly Davis on a 6'2" guard, that's a hard matchup.
How are they different this year? I mean, they're 4-6 right now. They've never lost more than 4 games in a conference season ever before this year.
They're trying to do a lot of the same things that they've done before. They're not as maybe deep as they have been. They've had some injuries, and that hurts people. I really think that they're trying to do a lot of the same things that they have been trying to do, but they don't have the height that they've had, and they don't have, the depth that they've had.
Over the last, I think it's 4 games, teams have really found success shooting the 3 ball against Maryland. They've also been turning it over a little bit more than they normally do. Is that kind of a big key if you guys can force some turnovers and get out in transition to find some of those potential, 3-point looks?
They've been turning it over, or other teams?
Maryland has been turning it over, and then they've also been, opponents have shot from 3 very well against them.
Yeah, well, they play a lot of zone, and so, sometimes people think that gives up the 3. Sometimes you talk to other people and think it doesn't. So it really depends on the person that you are and how you attack it. But I've been really comfortable with our 3-point shooting. We're coming off a really good 3-point performance at Northwestern. Again, I expect some junk defense. I think they're going to play box and 1. That's what they did against Caitlin last year, the last 2 times that we played them. So I'm fully expecting. We also saw some triangle and 2 against Indiana. So I think they're going to try some junk defense against us.
What's your relationship like with Coach Freeze? I mean, she's not just a Big Ten coach, but she's a fellow Cedar Rapids Metro graduate. What's your relationship like?
Yeah, we were never in school at the same time or anything like that. And obviously she went to Arizona out of state, to play college basketball. So, I'm not like that. We know each other from way back when in Cedar Rapids, but certainly I respect her. What she's done at Maryland has been absolutely amazing. She's an excellent coach, national coach of the year, won a national championship, so they don't get much better than that.
What do you guys have to do defensively against them, against those, they do have the 3-point shooters, they take the ball to the hoop. What's key, you think, for you guys?
I think transition defense is really important. I think boxing out is really important. They get a lot. Their guards rebound really well, so everybody in their team rebounds well, and we can't let them up those easy second opportunities, so I think that's important. Also, they just play people at all different positions. For example, Faith Masonis will come off the bench and play 1 through 5 positions. That's highly unusual, but we're going to have to really be in-tuned defensively to our matchups and really, with a full house and maybe not being able to hear very well, being in tune with Coach Reyna, who does our matchups on the bench for us, and lock in on that, because there's going to be a lot of changes going on during this game.
When you see a team that's had some up and down results at this point, do you just expect that you're going to get the team that won those games and their best product?
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, I expect to always get, Brenda and Maryland's best. I just think that Maryland and us have kind of become a little bit of a rivalry over the years, even though we have a great distance between us. And so I think that we're always going to get, I'm expecting Cheyenne Sellers to play, and I'm expecting to get their best game.
Speaking of getting your opponent's best, it seems like even in games where your team ends up winning 20, 30 points, these are very competitive games through the first 15 to 20 minutes. Is that because you're getting the team's best? Are you perceiving it as a slow start on your team's part, or what do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think it's any of those things. I think that when you're up by 8 at the quarter break, that's significant. That is 10 minutes of basketball and you're already up 8. So yeah, at the end of the game, you may be up 30, 25, but if you're up 6 or 8 at the end of the first quarter, that's pretty good numbers. And so I don't perceive, you're not going to beat somebody 25-0 in the first quarter. I mean, that's, and that's what people want. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's slowly, it happens over time. And you don't beat somebody in the first quarter. You beat them over the course of the game.
We haven't seen a lot of share in the last couple of games. Is that just a matchup thing where maybe Addie or Hannah matches up better with their post players, or is she recovering from anything right now?
Not recovering from anything. We're just trying to find that second post player that really wants to step up consistently, and we're not finding it yet. And that's kind of disappointing because here we are in February, and we haven't had some post that just grasps it and goes for it. And so I thought AJ Ediger went into the Northwestern game and played really well, and she moved up on the list as well.
They have a transfer from NC State, Jakia Brown-Turner. You got to face her last year. I believe over the last 4 games, she's really picked up. I think it's averaging over 20 points a game in the last 4. Just what do you see from her from an offensive standpoint?
Yeah, tremendous player. I think she was third-team All-American as a freshman coming out of NC State. So kind of unusual there, or maybe when she graduated. I don't remember what it was, but I know she was up there with NC State. Been shooting the 3-ball well, around 55% the last 5 games. Crashes really well. She's a lefty. I mean, she's somebody that can attack, really score in all 3 of the different areas.
You guys seem to be good for 1 or 2 of these, 90-second stretches a game where you put an 8-0 or a 12-2 run on somebody. I know Caitlin's part of that, but what's kind of the anatomy of, these little quick surges that you're able to put on people?
I think Caitlin is a lot of that. When she feels it, right? And she's going to let it go. And, it's really hard to stop. It's really hard to defend that. But I really do think it goes back to Caitlin and just her ability to shoot from that range. And when she feels it, she's going to toss it up there.
I want to ask about Kate's progression a little bit this year. I know she was sick early in the season, and so was still kind of recovering from that from the first few games. But it's the first time we've seen her kind of as the number 2 scoring option on this team, where she's putting up 12, 16 points a night almost reliably. Did you anticipate that you'd see that out of her this year, where she'd be such a deep offensive threat for you?
Kate had a great summer, and just she's playing confidently. She's enjoying her last season. She understands that we need her to score. She's shooting the 3-ball really well. So I'm really happy for Kate because she's put in a lot of time and really deserves this opportunity.
Defensively, you guys haven't always been a team that forces a ton of turnovers. The last 2 games, I believe it's 44 over the last 2 games you guys have forced for turnovers. What have you guys been doing defensively that has led to that?
It's not anything different that we're doing. It's just maybe, the people that we've played have turned the ball over more times. We've, thrown some doubles in there and things like that, and I think that hurt against Nebraska. But, really, it's just a case of, we're not doing anything different defensively the last couple games.
It was about this time last year that Kate and Gabby said they were both coming back for a 5th year. Do you expect Caitlin to wait till after the season to announce anything, or not?
I fully expect her to wait till after the season. I just don't think she wants to think about this until after the season. And so we'll go through senior day ceremonies as if this is her senior day. If she comes back and we do it again, we do it again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.